Ene gisem ni say tap send see yen fa sadere we emma won customers ni titu ene won wo UK say obetimi a create wo tap send wallet no e wo app no eso se ekoba ne se tap rate no ekostra obetimi a save ska akodu impempenso bi ti say 50,000 Ghana cedis ane 50,000 Ghana cedis na afei wo yin kakra se oba on my Ghana mu a obetimi a save ska ewo tap send wallet na so abra unya ohaw bia na tie tap send atre wo mahye akodru UAE Netherlands and Austria tap send na easy fast and secure tap send papa no
everybody check now check it check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. Check it. Green select glucometer, check it. Push sugar level, check it. Reselect glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Abinsoko! Massive cash out with Aviator on Parimatch. Charlie, visit parimatch.com.gh now and enjoy showdown odds and amazing offers on your favorite sports, jackpot and casino game. Play with Parimatch and get up to 500% Pari Boost bonus to win big like a boss. Parimatch, the game is yours. This advertisement is vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Gaming can be addictive.
The issues of event promoters, organizers, and artists and their teams have always been one that have been dicey. In fact, sometimes when you hear about some of these issues of promoters being angry, being mad with artists over this and that, I wish that when it happens, especially media people, should always take their time, scrutinize the issue very well, ask the relevant questions before passing judgment. But oftentimes, we don't see this. No. When a promoter comes out to say, oh, an artist has done this to me, an artist has done that to me, we go on our platforms, and because we know the artist is guilty, in our mind, because we know that the artist there, he is guilty, we go and we crucify the artist. So many times. Because oftentimes in our mind, we have been judgmental over the artist. We've always thought that, oh, the artist will do bad. Especially when you have a record or two like that. When your name comes up that you've had any rough times with a promoter, no, oh, this guy there, he will do it. The next day you hear them on radio, TV, online, and they won't spare you. They will lash you and lash you hard. I think somewhere last week, an issue popped up. And after careful analysis of the issue, I said, sometimes education and information, they are two important things that we cannot ignore in this field. In fact, if we would have to talk every day for people to be educated about how this industry operates, let's talk. If we have to always make sure we are available, sharing information and education about how people would consider this industry as a serious business, we have to talk. I sometimes see people making fun of the fact that, oh, Sammy Flex will come and talk. Yes, you are not ready to learn. After all, I understand that at every point in time, there will be people like that, who to them, they want to make mockery of anything online. So they will continue to comment rubbish comments like that everywhere, like Chemo will say. Rubbish comments everywhere like that. They will never learn. They are not ready. They are not putting themselves in position that, no, let's listen, let's pay attention to detail and learn. No, they are not. They are not ready, as a matter of fact. I have come across a press statement concerning a field show of Afrobeats, Afropop artist Mr. Drill somewhere in the eastern region, around Akosomo area. And as much as we analyzed the issue somewhere last week, I still think that there is something that we need to share so that those who care to know will know. And that's it. In fact, even when you go to school, those who care to learn, they learn. And they get knowledge, they get information. They upgrade their life. Those who don't want to learn, you can even go and crack their heads and put books in them. They will not learn because that's not what they want. Now, what is happening here? Let's pay attention to it. This is about a statement written from an event house somewhere in Senchi. And I want to go straight to it. There are about 11 points in there. Follow the 11 points one after the other. Then we can run away with some few commentaries. It says for immediate release, cancellation of Easter dance party with Mr. Drew event. And this was released on Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Number one, it says, the management of Jamrock Bar and Event Center unreservedly apologizes to everyone, especially the wonderful people of Asojaman, for the cancellation of the Easter dance party with Mr. Drew. Event that was to take place on Easter Monday, April 1st, 2024. And once again, at least a good start, where they are making it obvious that some people might have been affected by the decision. Therefore, as much as they have been affected by the decision, they have to find a beautiful way, apologize to them, and address the issue. And that is the apology that came. Now, let's move on to point two. Point two reads, Jamrock wishes to inform the general public that all was set for the event to take place, but the artist Mr. Drew pulled out at the event when he was to mount the stage without any reason or explanation to the organizers. Once again, just into the second paragraph, they shift blame. They shift blame to the organizers. They shift blame to the artist, that the artist is the problem. That everything was set, according to them, everything was set for the event to take place. And that it was Mr. Drew who pulled out of the event when it was time for him to mount the stage without any reason or explanation to the organizers. Meanwhile, they had the reasons, they had the explanation, but they decided not to put in here. Now let's go to point three. It says, organizers booked Mr. Drew for the event and paid him 50% of his performance fee, with the remaining 50% to be paid when he arrives at the event grounds. Upon receipt of his payment, Mr. Drew made a video of himself confirming his participation in the event. Now, you make 50% to the artist agrees, and I'm sure it is upon that before he gives you the video confirmation of his coming. It is high time, and maybe you have to show face to say this. It is high time event organizers, or maybe we have to be talking to artists. It is high time some of these clauses, we all become tight on it. And I say we because I want to put myself here, because I've also experienced something like this in the past. It is high time we all become so tight on this. Clauses like come to event grounds, take money. I think as much as sometimes we want to handle event promoters well, there are some clauses that we have to even stop allowing them into our contract with event people because they'll mess you up. As a matter of fact, they'll fuck you up. Someone has done it to me before. It is high time this clause, 50% to be paid when he arrives at the event ground. Like, how? An artist is coming to perform. When he's coming to the event ground, that's when he wants to take money. Event grounds. And he'll be holding the money where? Putting the money in the car where? What if someone takes it? What if the money, they are not able to take care of it well? And like I'm saying, I have to speak to the event promoters and speak to the artists as well and their management teams. This clause, I'm sure everybody, if it is possible, everybody should take away this clause in any contract they sign. That contract of come to the event grounds and take the rest of the money. No. Yes, it is all right for the event promoter to pay a certain percentage before you permit him to start his publicity and all. But it is also all right that even before you move from your location to the event grounds, I think it would be good that you've secured all the bag. That come to the event grounds, event promoters, stop. Artists, stop. It will help all of us. Let's move on to the third point. Okay, no. Okay, we're moving on to the fourth point, where it says, on the day of the event, Mr. Drew arrived and checked in into his hotel around 3 p.m. So it means, indeed, the artist was willing to perform. Because if the artist was not willing to perform, there is no way he would drive all the way from Accra to somewhere in the Eastern region, Akosomo area. If the artist is not ready to perform, there is no way he will go there. In fact, if the artist wanted to chop the money, he wouldn't have come at all because, I won't chop the money. But for him to risk driving all the way to Accra to Senchi or wherever it is, it means he was ready. That is to be established. Now it goes on that in the company of 3 other team members, and he was to relax and get ready for the event in the evening, of course, which is the norm. Because if an artist performing on the same day and he arrives on that same day, the first thing is to check him into his hotel for him to relax. In fact, that is the norm. Unless maybe they have some more time. But if it is on the same day, he comes, he gets something to eat, freshen up, and he relaxes, waiting for the show. And it goes on that, get ready for the event in the evening. All the other artists on the bill had also arrived and in their hotels. That is fine. Now let's move on to point number 4. Say at around 12:30 a.m., organizers were calling the artists to come and perform, but there was no response from his team. Hence, the organizers drove to the hotel and found they were fast asleep. Here, I don't want to say much. Whether it is true or not, I cannot determine from this particular paragraph. Because one, it says they were not picking their call. And that when they went there, they were fast asleep. For people to sleep at from 3 p.m. and at 12 midnight, they are still sleeping, all team members, that is a hard thing to call. But then again, it is not something that is not possible to. If people want to do it, they can do it. So that is also to be established. So this particular point, I would want to leave it there. But then again, the big question is, if indeed they came to perform, if indeed they came to work, why would they all be sleeping? Why would they all ignore? Because as much as I know, me, my team, when we go anywhere for a performance, apart from the artist who will be taking a rest, none of the team members takes a rest. We are moving to sound check, we are moving to check security, we are moving to the event grounds to make sure all is well, where artists will enter, where artists will exit. So nobody sleeps. But in the case of this particular press statement, it says that all 3 members, they were all fast asleep. Oh my God. Now, let's go to point number 6, where it says, after some time, Mr. Drew and his team finally came out of the hotel and sat in their car and drove off. After some time, they finally came out of the hotel. So they woke up. After some time, they woke up, sat in their car and drove off. And here, I'm not sure any reasonable person will read this line and assume, oh, it was just like that. People that you have paid to come and do a show for you, according to you, came there and they were sleeping. You waited for them to wake up or you woke them up yourself, however, and according to you, they just went to sit in their car and they drove. In fact, like that car, you don't move it. No event promoter would agree to this. Like that car, you don't move it. I've seen some before. Event promoters and artists fighting. And they make it look that simple. Like they did not even talk. If you read, that's how it is. Like there wasn't any discussion. Okay, so what do we have to do? No, they just came from their hotel rooms after waking up after 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Went to sit in their cars and drove off. Yeah, say more. Point number 7. It says, organizers followed up, but later got to know that Mr. So you watch them move their car, they follow their car. And later got to know that Mr. Drew drove past the event grounds and were headed back to Accra, abandoning the event for which he had been paid. So this is how they want us to understand it. Mr. Drew came out from his hotel. They saw him. Did not have any conversation at all or whatsoever with him. He went to sit in his car. They thought that, oh, because he sat in his car, that he's going to the event grounds. And according to when they followed up, they realized that Mr. Drew had driven past the event grounds and he was gone, coming back to Accra. Once again, this is another bitter pill to take. Number 8. The management of Jamrock Bar and Event Center wishes to condemn the behavior of Mr. Drew and his team and want to state that Jamrock will do everything within our legal frames to ensure that Mr. Drew receives appropriate punishment for this act. And this is also a point that I like. In fact, anybody at all who jokes with the law, who jokes with rules and regulations should be taken care of. But you see, when it happens in instances like this, sometimes people who brag we want to go to court early, sometimes they might not all be right. I have more examples to show. There are situations that people have even called lawyers to write to some others. Yet, when the case was really getting cheap, they were nowhere to be found. I'm talking about a promoter. The promoter hurriedly wrote, oh, well, we want to do this, we want to do that. I don't know what sometimes they are looking for, like to put fear in you. Now, when it became hard that we wanted to respond, they ran away hard, nowhere to be found. I'm happy I spoke with Mr. Drew on this case, and he tells me his lawyers are preparing to handle this for them. It was so obvious that these people, as event promoters, did not follow their own rules that they set, their marketing scheme that they set for this show. It is so obvious they did not follow it. It was so obvious because Mr. Drew came to Senchi to perform. He was ready. Their part that they were supposed to do, they did not. According to their statement, Mr. Drew was supposed to come to the event grounds to take part of the money. Meanwhile, you guys are also saying that you came to meet them in the hotel room. At that time, the money was there. Why did you not give it to him? Why should he at all costs come to the event? When he had come to town, you guys know he'd come to town. You couldn't give him the money in the hotel. But he said when he comes to the event grounds, you would give him. That was not true. Or that was not to be true. Number 9 says, lawyers of Jamrock Bar and Event Center are also studying the narrations and will soon file a writ in court against Mr. Drew. And also studying the narrations and will soon file a writ in court against Mr. Drew for the recovery of all expenses incurred in respect of the cancelled event and other related matters. And that is also the same point I talked about. The fact that someone is claiming and shouting, I'm going to court, does not mean the person has a case. You might have nothing, and that is what you want to do. Now, it says, once again, we sincerely apologize to all our cherished customers for this disappointment and promises to make sure that such a thing never repeats again. All who bought tickets for the event are humbly asked to return them and have their monies refunded. And let me end it by saying that being an artist manager who discusses bookings with event promoters, the last thing you would want to have is to have a misunderstanding with an event promoter, honestly. In fact, no team would enjoy this. No team, never. Because just as you started with all excitement, promoting the event, counting your money, it's the same way that you'd want to go and play the show with the promoter so that subsequently you guys will continue to have shows. So that subsequently the person becomes your contact and you guys will continue to have good deals. But unfortunately, it is understanding. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. You go to the grounds and now they are doing that, they are doing that, they are doing that, they are doing that. When the artist says, I'm not comfortable with this, therefore I cannot continue. Hey, the artist is like this. The artist does not respect. The artist is not disciplined. The artist is like this. Again, when it comes out for discussions, media people who are supposed to dig deeper for others to know the reality, they won't. I remember we've spoken to the CEO before. And we asked the CEO, so did Mr. Drew ask for the money from the hotel? He said, yes, Mr. Drew has the but we said he should come to the event grounds. Some of these things, you know how we understand it? We understand it that maybe one ticket were not sold. And when you go to these towns and villages for shows, there are a group of people, until they see the artist, forget it. They won't pay. They'll go and drink beer in Guinness with their money. To some people, they have to see the artist entering to be sure that, yes, the artist is in before they will pay. So I'm sure the organizers were trying to be smart. At least, okay, let Mr. Drew come in. When Mr. Drew comes in and he enters, they will see him. They will buy some tickets, we organize some money, and we give it to him. At that time, you don't do that thing with artists. No artist will do that. Never. No artist will do this. No artist will do this. In fact, I'm here talking for all musicians and their management teams. And I'm pleading with event promoters. Please, when you are dealing with artists, let your words be your words. If you tell the artist, oh, tomorrow at 5, I'll call you and bring your money. Please remember to call tomorrow at 5 and bring the money. In fact, if for whatever reason something happens that because of that tomorrow at 5 you can't bring the money, state it clearly and in advance. Don't let it pass. Oh, no. Unfortunately, do you know what is even painful? Because they deal with the managers and the artists might not even be in the loop. So they will deal with the artists, they will deal with the managers, mess the manager up. Now the manager would have to go and sort it out with his artists. And this has created so many problems between artists and their managers. Yes. Because yes, sometimes you might think, oh, asem no mo kano, about kano. No, the artist, it won't make sense to the artist. So I'm pleading, event promoters. In fact, without you, no artist will function. That one we want to admit. If there are no event promoters in the world, how will the artist function? Same way to the artist. Without event promoters, you guys can't function. Therefore, at every point in time, come to a better compromise. So that when you are doing it, it is always win-win. The artist is winning, the promoter is winning. The promoter is winning, the artist is winning. If it happens that, oh, at every point, everybody is doing anything anyhow, because that is what we feel like or we want to do, it becomes a problem. I followed this Jam Rock and Mr. Drew matter, and I feel there are so many things wrong. So many things wrong. It is hard to lay a clear blame on this or that, but there are so many things wrong. There are so many things wrong. Event promoters, please respect artists. Artists, please respect event promoters. The two of you are a great force. Until you come together to do it, it won't work. So come together and make it happen. Let's end it here. A word to the wise is enough. To every promoter, we wish you guys well. More money, more events. And to the artists, we wish you guys well as well. More hits, more party, more events for your fans. Let me say thanks to Digital Rasta Currency, Richie Flex, and to you for spending quality time to watch us here on Sammy Flex TV. Remember that Tap Send is also here. So if you are watching us, you want to send money from abroad to Ghana, use Tap Send. Do it today and thank me later. Parry Match betting is for you as well. Make some cool money. You're betting on Parry Match. Get an app downloaded on your phone, and in all, use the promo code Sammy Flex for Tap Send, and some AV, some SP, and some 200 for ParryMatchBet.com. Until then, I'll meet you at the next event, where the event promoter will treat us well, with respect, and will keep to his promise. Stay put. Until we meet again, we're out of here. Bye-bye.